Hey everybody, we are here today with a woman that I truly admire and respect. I want to say that also. We're here with Miss Towanda Cottmon. Hi, Towanda.
Hi, everybody.
I want y'all to know that Towanda is a family friend from forever, really forever. Like before I had a kid, before I got married. I think I've known you that long. And so Towanda has a tremendously awesome story that I thought the month of May would be the best time to share it, being that it's Mother's Day month and we are celebrating women the whole month, really. And so we're just going to open up and we're going to let Towanda tell us her story. So stay tuned. We're going to start our opener and then we'll be right back. Welcome back, and thank you for being here. Again, we have Miss Towanda Cottmon with us today. And Towanda, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. You can tell us some of your story, and then we can just have a conversation.
Oh, hi. Let's recover that name Towanda. Just so y'all know. Well, where do I start here? I'm going to talk a little bit about, let's start with my childhood. I come from a single mother. My mother was, a single mother. She, I guess, did the best she could because she had her own issues. We ain't gonna delve all into her issue because they her issues. But I guess she did the best she could. But she also was she never was a recovering addict. She always was an addict. I've never known her not to be an addict. So probably around the time I became I became a teenage mother when I was about 16. Not about 16. I was pregnant at 15. And I thought at 16 that's what I needed. I needed to feel loved and to have somebody to love. So, when you're 16, you think that's what you're going to get. But when you're 16, you don't realize a baby can't love you. You can love it, but it can't love you. So you're only getting half of what you need. And most of all your time is just now gone. You don't no longer have just what you need for yourself when you're not even finished growing up yet. And you've been raising yourself all wrong for a lot of years. And now you're responsible for raising somebody else. Right. I know, it's a contradiction.
Well, but that's the truth. We all think that one thing we can get is going to fulfill a place that we don't understand. A child most certainly cannot fill.
A child cannot fulfill anything in your life that you need that's empty or missing. Or you can fulfill that in them, but they cannot fulfill that in you. And if you're lacking, you can't even fulfill that in them.
Right.
You're gonna miss something, with that in them. So you just do what you need to do. I think around the time I might have been right after I had my first child, I started smoking weed all the time. Like all the time, because everybody around me did. So at first I used to be quite annoyed with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, I couldn't stand these people. I couldn't stand the smell of the stuff, But I just was always on the outside because everybody around me did these things. My mother, my brother, everybody, my cousins, everybody did these things. Yeah. So when you either do it or you feel left out. I now know that I should have just stayed out, You maybe you learn,
Right.
But it is what it is. And I probably smoked weed continuously every day since I was 16 till maybe I say 21 because what I didn't know then that I know now is I'm just an addict. Everything I do obsessively. I don't do anything halfway. When I smoked, I smoked. It wasn't no you smoke just because you got it. No, every day I did. Like every day for 6 years.
If I could just for 1 second, that addict part is something that we all deal with. Believe it or not,
Yes.
everybody has something that you're going to do, and you're going to overdo it over and over again. Yours may not be drugs, yours may not be weed, but think about, you might be an addict to lying out there. Just let's be honest, you might be an addict to shopping. So we talking about some real stuff. They got their devices. Yeah, for real.
And mine just used to be substance just to take me outside of myself, just to escape my reality, just trying to get through, just trying to be somebody's mother when I didn't even know how to be, Nobody never taught me, so I raised me and my sister raised us, you know what I mean? But so I recall not even getting my mother dressing us for school. I used to get dressed from the kindergarten all the way up. My mother slept till 1, 2 o'clock. Sometimes we used to come home from school, she'd still be asleep. But she had partied all night. So we pretty much was raising ourselves, but we got through it. We made it through. But, I don't hold nothing against her because the woman was disturbed in so many ways and maybe mentally ill. Like, seriously, mentally ill. Like, not even fake, because she was undiagnosed crazy.
I got you.
That's real. That's real. She's undiagnosed crazy for cause what it is. That's what it was. And around the time I turned 21, I was hanging out all the time, partying like all the time. Like our house was just a repetition. Like, and I was living at home with my mama, but we all partied. Everybody just partied, and it was music playing all day long. It was just smoking all day long. Sometimes that woman would drink. I ain't never drink because I don't like drunk people. Okay? Like, seriously, they get on my nerves. All of them. Mostly because I've had everybody in my family that drinks is obnoxious. They really are. I had 2 aunts that literally drunk themselves to death, literally. Like, had cirrhosis and all of that. Like, literally. These people had problems. Like,
But it makes sense,
Yeah, they had real problems.
Yeah, if you see somebody that go down because of something and they don't go down just a little bit, they actually completely decline. Either you say, I'm going to do it, or you get into the track, or you say, I'm never going to do it, and you move directly away from the track. So I understand.
Yeah, my mother and all her sisters had real problems. Something went on in their lives that made them, like, extremely dysfunctional. Extremely. So drinking was never a thing for me, but around the time I turned 21, I was introduced to heroin. You do certain things. You love it. You do it once. First time I did it made me so sick, I never thought I would do it again, but of course you smoking. When you see, that's what people don't understand when you smoking weed all the time. They think it's not a big deal. It's grass. It comes from the earth. But it's the gateway drug for a reason, because when you're impaired, your decision making is not the best.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're more open to stupid stuff. You're more open to go out and commit a robbery, or, you see these young people running around doing all this stupid stuff, and mostly because they've been smoking. They ain't thinking clear. So it's easy to progress from one thing to the next thing, and I think around the time I turned 21, I was introduced to heroin all the time. I was on it all the time. But I had a second child when I was 19.
Okay.
That was before heroin. Through the grace of God, I never, ever got high when I was pregnant.
Okay.
For either one of my children. Never. I didn't indulge, I didn't engage, I didn't even smoke weed.
Well, that says that right then, even though you didn't feel like you were being a mother, you were being a mother. because you took the time to stay clean for them.
Yeah, but shoot, I don't even think I made it good and home before I was already smoking again.
That's okay. You made it. You made it through the
If
9
I
months.
could have got away with it, I would have did it in the hospital. Not even lying. You gotta be honest about this thing, because honesty is absolutely the antidote to this disease. You have to be truthful to yourself. I've been lying to myself a lot of years. I refuse to do it anymore. People look at me like I'm crazy because I say just about anything. But that's because I refuse to lie. I refuse to hold anybody's secrets, because you're only as sick as your secrets. I refuse to walk around here, learn about stuff, laying down at night. I should have said this, I would have said this. All of that stuff stresses you out.
Yeah.
I don't have those stressors anymore, because I feel free to speak my mind and say whatever I want to say. Like, I don't care what people think about me today. It is what it is. I'm who I am. Ain't nothing I can do to change anything I've done. I've lived my life, I probably should have been dead a long time ago, some of the stuff I did and been through. But for some strange reason, God see fit to see me still here, and I'm still here.
Well, it's why you're an inspiration, because, we talked before, I've heard some of your story, and the fact that you keep pushing along, and you've gotten to the place where it just don't bother me, I'm living.
But then, you don't just stop with her.
You'll just stop with her, okay?
You do crack, you do any drug that's bad. Once you become a heroin addict, anything pretty much good.
Okay.
You gonna get high. You just say this, whatever is available. But I will say, I used to think I was the smartest addict in the world, because I used to convince myself that because I'm not out here robbing and prostituting, I never did these things. Like, I don't commit crimes. Like, I've never. But I used to be. My first marriage was to a truck driver, long haul truck driver.
Okay.
The worst thing he could have got was a pager. I called the man up, stressed the man out, tell him I was a prostitute. I would have never did that, but I made him think I was, so he would wire me money. Man, he wired me money all the time. But I used to think I was smarter than that, because I never, if I had $300, I would not spend $300 that day. I spent 30. The next day I spent 20. The next day, like I would budget so I thought I was better than people.
You're budgeting my house.
Yeah, I'm better than people.
That's all good.
And I was out here prostituting, and I thought I was better than people. Just see how insane the thinking be.
Well, see, we all have that crazy thought when we are down and we think we up.
Yes, the thinking is insane. So around about 1999, I went into a drug program, and I went for a 30-day treatment program. I actually literally called it welfare, and I know there's a lot of people don't realize that the welfare will help you get off of drugs. I literally looked at the back of my no, what you call that card?
Medicaid card.
It was one of them cards.
Okay.
And I looked at the back of it, and it said for drug abuse card this number, and I called them, and they sent me to a place, and then that place sent me to a really nice drug treatment facility. Excuse me. So I went into the program, and I stayed there 30 days. And I absorbed information quite rapidly, and it sticks, and it stays. Like even from early on. Like, even with education, anything like that, I'm really, really book smart. Like, seriously.
You do you.
No, I just didn't have the person in my life that should have pushed me to be the best. Like, I've always been in, like, all the math contests, but nobody showed up for that stuff. So, but they, they show up to pass the joint.
Of course. Yeah. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you tend to want to just fit in, so you get in where you fit in, And I went to this program, and when I came out, I found out my first husband, the truck driver, had died while I was in the program,
Wow.
and nobody knew that I was in the program. So they was reaching out, trying to contact me. Now I'm gone, and I don't know. He has been in this terrible car accident, and he's dead. And now they forced to bury him without me, and so it took me a while. I was mentally broken when I came home. I was just distraught. Like I'm literally just lost because this man has been taking care of me for 7 years, and I don't know how to take care of me. You know what I mean? I don't. Like, seriously, I'm totally dependent on everything he's ever done for me. I was never good to him or good for him, but he loved me, so he took care of me. And then when he died, but he wasn't good for me. He wasn't good for me because he supported my madness. He not just supported it, he financed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He financed my madness, so that was never, a good thing for me. So, God blesses you in ways, not that his death is a blessing, but, it saved my life, So then I mentally was not ready for that when I came home out the program, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to pay my bills. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have no income. I did have a little social service, but you can't pay my bills.
You don't get enough.
So, and I hadn't been used to no crap like that, so I broke down. So, and then my mother was living with me. I don't want to speak bad about the dead, but God knows that woman drove me insane. And when I came out of that program, already dealing with the fact that I lost this person that I wish got to see who I become. Like I really wish he got a chance to see who I am now, because he never knew, who I could have been. He always saw it in me.
Mm-hmm.
He saw the potential of but he never actually got a chance to witness what he should have been able to witness. And when I came home and my mother was living with me, that woman harassed me every day to go buy her drugs. Every day. Till I just finally broke down and went with her drugs. Now, of course, I can't just buy her drugs. She figured I should be okay. I've been clean 30, 40 days. I should be okay to go buy her drugs and not get nothing for myself. That's impossible. Right. For real, that is impossible. But I did it because she wore me down. And I got sick of her asking. And then, of course, I'm emotionally broken. And, because I just lost somebody that was really special and important to me. So I really kind of in the back of my mind, I think I wanted to go, So I went, and of course I got some for myself. But then, here's the funny thing about knowledge. Once you get the knowledge and the information, you're accountable for what you know.
Oh yeah.
I could not get high successfully anymore. See, ignorance is bliss. When I didn't know no better, I could successfully get high and enjoy it. But the whole time I'm getting high, all the information I got in those 30 days kept flooding back in. I couldn't enjoy being high no more. I couldn't enjoy being stupid no more. Like, you accountable. You being held accountable. So I realized that's wrong. What am I do now? Yeah. What am I going to do now? So the thing about the calling the welfare is a side. There's something else going on with them people. Once they send you to that program, they making sure you follow through. Right. So I didn't realize they was gonna be on my back. Like, when I got out of that place, now I'm already getting high again because, crazy woman is to harass me. Probably would have did it anyway. Can't blame her. You know what I mean? Eventually I was gonna use because my mind wasn't working on the things that I should have worked on. I didn't know how to work on it. I had the information,
Mm-hmm.
but knowing is only half the battle. You know, you got to do the work, you know, and I didn't know how to do the work. I didn't know how to be successful at staying clean. I knew how to stop getting clean. I just did not know how to stay stopped, you know. So then I turned around and I had to go to all these programs that the welfare had set up for me to make sure I stayed clean. They spent $5,000 on this treatment center. You will stay clean. You know what I mean? Or they gonna cut me off, you know. So I had no income, so I had no choice. I'm going to these programs. And finally, I went to a program and she was setting me up to do this, and I just broke down in that woman's office and cried like a baby and told her, I'm high right now. I'm just high. I can't do this, you know. I need treatment, you know. So that woman literally called me, came to my house the next day, picked me up, took me to, you know, to research some drug treatment programs and this and this thing. So then we found We Can, somewhere I can actually afford to go to without welfare having to pay for it again, you know. So I went there and I went to I Can, We Can. And the difference between I Can, We Can and the other programs is I Can, We Can teach the very exact information. Same information that I got in 30 days. I never got anything more information from I Can, We Can in the whole year I stayed there, because I stayed in I Can, We Can a little over a year, because it's a year program. And I was living for over a year. And but the difference in I Can, We Can in that program is I Can, We Can don't just give you the information. They show you how to apply the information to your life. So because you get such intensive groups and sessions and people constantly, you know, it's each one teach one, you know, you learn it from other people, you learn it from people's shortcomings, you learn it from people using, you just learn, constantly learn it in a year's time. So now, my daughter's just young teenagers at this point, because it's now 1999 when I go to I Can, We Can. And I successfully completed the program. I actually became an alumni of the program, and I wound up sponsoring quite a few women coming behind me, you know. Now, I ain't do everything right within that year. Mm-hmm. You know, certain things you're not supposed to do within the year you stay clean. Please, I ain't do that. Think you know what I'm talking about. Didn't do that. So, but I did already have all the information in. Because I already had all the information, and with anything I absorb, I keep. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm consumed with a whole lot of useless information and some things that's quite useful, but anything I heard, it stays. And so I completed that program, and I was successful in that program, and I'm now 22 years clean. In the grace of God. Yeah. You know, now, I've been through a lot of things. Now, don't get me wrong. I did not escape drug addiction free and clear. You don't escape drug addiction free and clear. You're going to come out of that with a lot of things. A lot of health issues, a lot of things is wrong, you know, you're going to pay for the things you've done in this life. You know, you just ain't going to escape anything free and clear. You know, you got to pay. But God see fit for me to still be here, so I'm here, and I'm happy. And every day that I wake up, I'm even more happier. You know, I'm a good person. You know, I am. You know, I did a lot of bad things, you know, and not really, really bad things. Most of the things I did bad was to myself. Well, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I did a lot of, you know, horrible things to myself, but I really didn't go out my way to hurt people. Right. You know, I've never introduced anybody to drugs. Never. I was never that person. Listen, once I was already hooked, I never wanted that for nobody else. And the thing about once you get clean, you realize you should want for your sister and brothers what you want for yourself. So if you want good things for yourself, you should want good things for everybody else around you. And I think I had that all the time.
Well, see,
Like, I never used to do wrong things to people. Which is why I might still be lucky enough and fortunate enough to still be here.
oh, yeah.
I still look out for the people I care about to this day. I'm blessed enough not to be alienated from my family or my children, you know. Heck, I live with my daughter right now, you know what I mean? And me and her like best friends, you know, shoot. Now, we have had our issues in the past during my drug addiction years because, you know, no kid wants their mother to be drugs, you know. But we've overcome those things, and I'm always got their back now. I might not have been the perfect mother, but I tell you what, I'm the perfect grandmother. Like, I am perfect. There's nothing those boys want for.
You know, grandkids can get spoiled.
Yeah. They're not even spoiled. They're just not in need or want. You know, I don't believe in literally spoiling kids because you can create monsters. And I ain't in the business of creating monsters. I need to like you. Now, I can love you, don't mean I like you. And I need to like you. You need to be a halfway decent person. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to raise decent folk. You know, like seriously, be a halfway decent person. Think about other people sometimes. Like, you know, I got a grandson. He's 17 now. And the boy always got his hand out. Because he's 17, you know.
That's a teenager thing.
Yeah. And everybody looks out for him because we got family, we got all this extended family. And for some strange reason, we got people that want to be in our family.
Hey, that's all. That's how you know you got a good family. Towanda said, what are the signs of a good family?
Yes.
That people want to be with you.
Yeah.
But
And
not family.
they come to all the family reunions, you know, they just family. And we accept them as family. They've been around so long, we just accept them, you know. And this boy calls everybody for money. Everybody is cash apping him. And, oh my goodness gracious. But when it's anybody's birthday, I be on him. Did you call someone? Did you say someone? You could call. Because I paid him to, you know, come help me out. I don't really need him like that, but I need him like that.
Yeah.
And I pay him good money, so sometimes when I pay him the good money, I make him back other people's presents because he needs to do that. Be a decent person. Yeah. That's all I ask. That's all I require. I don't require anything more than you. Now, as y'all can see, I'm fat as hell. That's because I picked up a third addiction. I went to the program, you know, half of the person I am. By the time I realized I picked up an eating addiction, it was too late to stop it. You know what I mean? I had already gained another person. I had gained a whole 150 pounds in the year I was in the program. But I'm old now. It's hard to get off 150 pounds. And I don't really care about it. I still got married with the 150 pounds. I married a lunatic.
Oh, Jesus.
I did. You know, I married the lunatic after I had about, I say I've had 3 years clean. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Gotta be honest. Okay? I liked the man. The dog was long.
Oh, Jesus.
But the man was a simpleton. Now, I married that man because I still wasn't absolutely well. You know, I only had 3 years clean, still practicing dope-free behavior, you know, not all the way where I needed to be. You know, this is why you're not supposed to get in relationships. You sick and suffering. You're not well. You're not, you know, a productive member of society. You're all the things that you need to work on. But I started to get sickly from some illnesses. And not even gonna lie, went into this marriage because I knew I needed a man. to help me pay bills and help me out. So when he did his dirt years later, what, man? You can't be mad when you don't go to stuff with clean hands. You can't be mad when your motives ain't always right. You know what I mean? And I'm honest with me. Like, I'm who I am, and I've done some things. And my thing when I was getting high was not to go out and rob and steal, but I always had the gift of gab, and I could always manipulate men. So I could get them to do what I wanted them to do, because even though I'm fat and crazy looking now, and I ain't always was that.
You are not fat and crazy looking. Let's go ahead and stop that part now.
I ain't always been that, but I've morphed into who I am now, but I've always, let's not get twisted. I got tricks. Definitely got them. So I can always, so I've always had one, that. I've always had a man, and they always took me real good care of me, But so when my man crossed me in the end, I was hurt at the time, but as time went past, I realized I wasn't even nice to him. He got on my nerves. Why wouldn't a man done it sooner? I don't know. Because he used to come around and I'd be like, oh God. And he would see me. Right? I'd be like, what do you want? I was not nice to him. He used to annoy me. I'm not even gonna lie. And that's because he was not my intellectual equal. And you need to be compatible with your mate. He done nothing wrong. He was born something.
This is true.
He did nothing wrong. He can't help, being a simpleton. Simpleton is what he is. I chose that for my own simple ulterior motives. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You do what you do, you get what you get. You need to be held accountable for what you do. I was being held accountable. I ain't like it when it was happening to me, but it is what it is. Right. Like you do what you do, you're gonna get what you get. You don't escape doing wrong stuff. You just don't. You do wrong stuff, you will be held accountable. Bottom line.
Absolutely.
Now,
y'all see why I had to get this Towanda here. Because Miss Towanda is so truthful, but still inspirational. Think about what she just said. You get what you get when you do wrong. So you can't be upset knowing that you did the wrong thing. A lot of times we be like, I did it, but it still shouldn't have happened to you. I still should have got away with it. And we keep moving. But she's like, she's so, I like Miss Towanda.
But that's the thing. People always think they get away with something.
Right.
You don't get away. You might get away. You might get by, but you never get away. Like, you might get by, and that's just temporary. You're going to get by for the moment. But karma always going to catch you. You can't run. You know what I mean? You're going to always get caught. You're going to always be held accountable. You should always practice doing the right thing. Then that way you won't have to be being held accountable. So that's how I live my life today. Today I'm always practicing doing the right thing. Now, I may not always say the right thing. And if I don't say the right thing, judge my head, not my heart, because it's never coming from a place of malice or ill will. It's just coming from me not having any filter at all. I don't have no shame. I don't. It is what it is. I can't undo what's done. I can't go back and rewrite a story. You know what I mean? This is my story. I can't rewrite it. It's happened to me. It's the life I live, and because of that life, I become a better, stronger person. I actually like me now. I don't even mind. You know how one upon a time I had to always be surrounded by folk. I don't even want people around me now because I actually like me, and I'm not too fond of other people all the time. Some people just not,
You just don't want the extra.
I don't need the crazy.
So the crazy.
I done had enough. Don't you think I had enough crazy in my life?
I would agree.
Like, seriously, I don't have time for it. Like, seriously, I'm not gonna cater to your emotional breakdown. I don't want to hear you coming to me like I be a supportive friend, but I had problems when, like, my friend is coming to me and she tells me, well, this is going on, and that is going on, and this is going on. And I let you vent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you ask me my opinion and I give you my honest opinion, and I will give you my honest opinion, I don't care if you don't like it or not, don't ask.
You don't really want to hear me.
And I will give you my honest opinion, and then now we need to, and then don't be mad when I give you my honest opinion. And if you're not mad, and if you accept my advice, please don't keep coming back to me talking about it. Do something about it.
Exactly.
Like, seriously, don't keep coming to me with the same old crap. You're going to have to do something to move past this. Move on. Like, situation ain't going to change unless you change.
Right.
Like, you can't keep sitting back letting somebody do this to you and do that to you, and then come make you choosing misery. And now you choosing to make me miserable. I choose not to let you.
Well, it's all of that. I have to be concerned about my mental health, and if I let you keep coming in invading that, then I'm going to be just as far out there as you are. Self-preservation is not a bad thing, guys. It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
You have to preserve your own mental health because you can't help anybody else if you can't keep your own self in a certain place.
And don't be fake. Don't be fake or fake friend. A fake friend is that person who, oh my God, it's this bitch. Here she come whining again.
Right.
Like, just tell her she getting on your nerves. She whining too much. Do something about it.
Right.
Why can't you say that? Why can't you say fix it? Why do your friend like that? Why wait till you around other people? Because I don't know how many times I've been in that scenario where I'm sitting around and somebody, and the phone ringing, they're like, oh, this bitch. Here she comes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. That is so fake. Now I'm looking at you sideways. Because if you're being fake that way to that person,
What you doing when I call you? Right. What you doing when I call you? You might be saying the same thing.
Yeah. Which makes me not call you.
Right. We'll leave it on the phone. We good.
Yeah. Only way I'm talking to you is in person. I want to be able to read that expression. Yeah. I don't know if we done because of that, but I'm a little skeptical about you. If you treat your family bad, I'm skeptical about you. Like, I never want to see, like, siblings fight. I ain't even used to that because my mother was such a mess. Me, my brother and sister was always like, so I'm not used to, and when I see siblings, like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't get that, and I be wanting so desperately for them to come
behind.
Oh, I've been behind bars, which is probably why I'm scared straight. Like, I can't be doing that. I can't be around all these people. I can't poop in front of people. Are you crazy? This is insane. Nobody should live like this. I don't live this way, And plus, I'm a solitary individual. Like, I like my solitude. I don't mind being by myself. I know some people find the need to always be around people, and when they're not, they feel lonely and sad and depressed. But I'm just the opposite. By myself is comfortable, because I actually, like I said before, like me. I mean, I like people that's around me. I had hundreds of friends. I got like 4 now.
But you've accomplished something that a lot of us, and I say us, are still trying to get, where we just like being with us.
Yes.
Especially for us as females, we have a need sometimes just to be around other females, groups of females, and you want to be able, I want to talk to them, this, that, and the other. But when we begin to like ourselves, love ourselves, we'll find that it gets less. It starts to go down. And I know that personally because lately I'm just like, I'm okay with me.
Yes.
I'm okay with me. And it took a while. I'm 45. And I'm 45. In my 40s, I'm just learning to be okay with me. That's a lot.
That's everybody. And if they say that's not them, that's a lie. You might you may have attained it, but everybody has that need to try to get in where they fit in. And sometimes you don't need to fit in. You know, some people you trying to fit in with is not nice. Some people you trying to fit in is not honest. You know, you need to just be comfortable enough with yourself to say, okay, I like me, and anybody who wants to be a part of what I got going on here is more than welcome to join. But I desperately need to fit in just to feel loved.
Yeah. And it leads us sometimes down the wrong path.
Yes,
because because you're following, you're in trying to fit in, you become a follower just to fit in. You know, like you were saying earlier, I ain't want to be the odd man out. And so you don't want to be the odd man out, so you fit in, and then you look up and you're in a place where you're like, I never even wanted to be here.
But that's the thing about drug addiction. It's a club to take over members. Nobody is denied, nobody is rejected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we welcome them all. There's doctors in this club, there's lawyers, there's accountants, firemen, police, and trust me, I know, I met a few. I've gotten high with a few. You know what I'm saying? This is a club to take all members. You don't have to be a certain thing to fit in. You don't have to be. All you have to be is high. So all you gotta be. All you have to be is, that's a club. And because it's a club that's welcoming to everybody, take all members, nobody is rejected. Yeah. And a lot of us been rejected most of our lives. So when we find that club that takes everybody, we want to go. Yeah. So that's basically what it boils down to. Trying to figure out who you are as a person. And some people never did. Like, I've lost so many people due to this disease. You know what I mean? Like, people's lives has been cut short. People thought they had one more run in them. They gonna go back out to relapses or whatever. It's just, you know, when you see that repetition over and over and over again, you know it's insane. But sometimes it's what people is comfortable with.
Yeah. So, what would you tell a young person? And I think you probably already said it, but I do want to ask the question. What would you tell a young person who is in the same situation you are? They're good in school, they're book smart, but their surroundings may be pulling them in the wrong direction.
I would just say, never let nobody dim your light. And never dim your light. You know, shine bright. Just do you. You know, even if, you know, you think that you're going to be all alone and you're isolated and you can't relate to the folks that are around you, but you're going to find your tribe. Eventually, you will find your tribe. You know, it's just a matter of time. You just got to wait for it. You know, see, too many times in life, we want everything in a hurry, everything in an instant. And through instant gratification, all you get is long-term. Nothing comes in a hurry. You know, you gotta wait on it. Sometimes, you know, what's meant for you is down the road. You know, it ain't right there, right in front of you. You might want it now, but it ain't there for you now. God will give it to you when He's ready for you to have it. You just gotta wait on the Lord. You know, and I would say, reach out to get a God and you'll understand. It don't have to be my God. It don't have to be, Allah. It could be the tree outside. Worship something.
Find a higher power.
That's it. Worship something. Believe in something bigger than yourself. It has to be about more than just you. It just has to. You know, if it was just all about you, that's exhausting. It is. Just the thought of that is exhausting. You know, like
it has to be something greater than just us.
Yes.
I really believe a lot of times when we're in those situations, we also need to see if you're in school, talk to your school counselor. Find somebody to talk to. Also, I think talking to people a lot of times opens up that door to make you think and stop you from going down that wrong road. I mean, what do you think?
I think that if you're a young person, the need to fit in is overwhelming.
It is.
is very overwhelming. Nobody wants to feel like an outcast. Nobody wants to feel like they're, and we have kids now that's literally committing suicide because they're being isolated or cyberbullied or picked on, because of the way you look. And I never had that experience because I had a crazy mother. And my mother had us out here fighting by the time we could walk. Like, seriously. So we just beat you up. So I never had the experience because they know I'm going to beat you up. Like, I literally and enjoy beating you up, But I never, what we don't do is look for trouble. Like, we don't go picking on people. My mother didn't allow us to pick on people, and she didn't allow us to be outside, talking crap. Like, we weren't allowed out there to say, hey, you're a mother, and no, you got beef, we had to go pop them, and that's it. We don't do that whole, we don't do that, We don't go to people's houses looking for trouble. We don't, we don't.
Right.
We don't chase ambulance, and we don't go where police cars at because we don't know if the situation is neutralized. My mother didn't allow this. She might have been crazy, but she was smart.
Right.
She was very street smart, and certain things she just didn't allow. She didn't play. We'd have got the crap smacked out of us so hard, girl, like she said, she'd have stomped the mud hole, and she would have literally stomped the mud hole. We just didn't do certain things. Now, I would say to the young people out there, have your own mind. Just go by what's in your gut. Your gut is going to steer you right most of the time. Other people will try to lead you left. Let your gut steer you right and stick with that. You know the right thing to do. Most of us know right from wrong. And I sincerely believe in right from wrong. When you right, you're right. If you're wrong, I say you're wrong. I don't really care who you is, and if you don't like it, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah, they're like, they
No,
want to hear the wrong.
Girl,
It's
I
wrong.
don't want to
They
hear
don't
that.
wanna hear
They don't want to hear that. But I said anyway, just be mad. You going to be mad it passes? Just be mad. Is it my fault that you're mad, or is it my fault that you're wrong? Which one is my fault?
But once you take a look at it and listen to you that I was wrong, it might give you that chance to turn around and get right.
Yeah, even then, still people don't want to admit it. Some people will say, girl, you was right. I was just mad at the time. But some people will literally be mad because I told them it was wrong. But I'm just not compromised today. I compromise too much of my life, too much of my opinions, too much of my personality. I don't compromise anymore. Like, it's done. Now, I really am a nice person, but I am not 100% well. There's still some crack that's on the shelf. You might move away from that stuff, but it's always right there on the shelf. And every once in a while, somebody will come and make you pull that crap up off the shelf and make you act a fool. I am not well. I'm not perfect. I'm not even faking like that. You know what I mean? Like, I am not. I still work on things every day, and every day I have to pray, that I don't act a fool. I pray about that kind of thing. I have to pray about that kind of thing because I need to always stay vigilant. I have to stay vigilant that I'm always going to be, have 1 foot on a banana peel. I got 1 foot on a banana peel, 1 in the grave. Always. At any moment I can slip. I can make the wrong turn. Now, let me tell you something. I'm an addict through and through. I still want to get high. Always will. I have to work on that every single day. I've been 20-something years clean. People think that, shoot, I want a medical marijuana card. I don't want to buy it on the street. Not even gonna lie, not even gonna front. Told y'all I'm not well. Now I practice every day, not going to get there. Right. That's a work in progress. You know what I mean? I'm always honest about who I am all the time. because honesty is the antidote to this disease, once I revealed Satan, I can kill Satan. So when I reveal that I want a medical, it makes me say, girl, you crazy as hell. See what I'm saying? See how that works?
Yeah.
You know, because if I keep it all locked up inside, that is just festers. It makes,
Right.
you know, it's a spinning ball in motion. You know what I mean? I have to kill Satan, so I always reveal Satan. You know, when Satan, because he constantly busy. You know, he go to and fro seeking who he can devour at all times, and he lives in my soul. You know, like seriously.
Not the soul.
Yes, he lives in my soul. Because where the devil is, so is Satan. Satan is just as busy. I mean, you know, where God lives, so does Satan. I meant to say that.
I got you. So he just
Yeah, he's just as busy. And he working on me 24/7. He's like, son, I'm constantly having to fight him. You know, he's constant battle. That's my mortal enemy. You know,
Right.
he's like, seriously.
But that's the good point you just made. I hadn't thought about it. Is when we try to hide it, it gives space. But if you just go ahead and say
And
this
reveal
is
it.
what it is, then you can attack it to kill it instead of trying to hide it.
Exactly.
Because you can't kill it when you're hiding it.
Exactly.
And we hide a lot. You know, Towanda talking about one thing, but we hide other stuff. Because we
Yeah.
all have our own addictions. As much as we don't talk about it, we all have our own addictions, things that we tend to overdo and don't know how to be modest in what we do. And we just got to keep going. Like she said, eat. I was talking about this yesterday to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about, oh, I'm good, you know, but they can't stop.
Oh, please.
Because it is an addiction.
I'm not going to stop.
Not you.
I'm trying to tell you, I know you weren't talking about me, but I was just having a conversation with your sister about this.
Okay.
You know, my doctors keep asking the questions that I have this surgery, and first of all, I'm not giving up food. That's just not happening, and until that changes here, ain't no need to cut me there. You know, like that's a waste of time. I'm still gonna eat food. Are you kidding me? I done gave up sugar because I got diabetes. Now I gotta give up food too. Are you kidding me? I done gave up heroin. I done gave up crack. I done gave up weed, cigarettes. I stopped smoking after 40 years of smoking. Ain't no way in heck I'm giving up food.
Well, yeah, we all have our addictions, and that's the thing is that when food is like one of those that we had that we don't really look at, but we have other ones, you know, for years. And I didn't think about it, but I would bite my nails down until they would bleed.
Oh, me too.
And it's a mental block that this is what soothes you. So we all have those things we do, and I would do it literally.
Yeah,
I would do it. After I had the surgery, I found that I stopped doing it. My nails started to grow. Didn't think they could grow.
yeah.
Didn't think they could grow stronger. So we all have our addiction. So your addiction may not be drugs, but what is your addiction? What is that thing that you feel like you can't stop doing? That hinders you.
It could be the need for men.
Yep.
You know, it could be a lot of different things because there's a whole lot of people out here suffering from a whole lot of things, and I don't walk around here acting like, people don't got issues. People have real issues. Stop judging folk.
Exactly.
You don't know what somebody has been through. You don't know what somebody's life is. You don't know what somebody's story is. Just stop judging people.
Yes.
People, my daughter used to be mad at me, but she's not now because it's been rubbed off on them. Because I literally will stop and just hold conversation with people. I will feed anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, but my mother did. And I remember when I was young, I used to she giving away all our food.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be seriously mad about that, but now all of us do that. Like we do that. That's just like it's inherently a part of who we are now. So we just, you gotta just be nice to folk.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't know why somebody do the stuff they do. You don't know why that person outside walking up down the street hollering to themselves, looking all crazy. You don't know what's going on with people's lives. Just be nice. Just speak. My daughter told me one day when I first moved in with her, when I left my husband, I moved in with my daughter. and I used to make her stop at the corner store. And she was like, "You going in there?" Because the drug dealers would hang around the corner store. And she was like, "You going in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, boy, I gotta get me some cigarettes." And then sometimes when I on the way to the store, they'd be hanging outside the store, and I stop and I'd be like, "Hello, what's up?" You know. And she used to be furious. "You over there holding a conversation with them people?" I was like, "Oh, great girl used to carry on." I'd be like, "Girl, listen. They the people in the neighborhood who know what's going on.
Exactly.
What's going down. You know, they are the people that if something about to pop off, they can warn you. They can tell you. But if you run around here acting like an old bee, they ain't gonna tell you nothing." She, you know what she said? She got me. "You just saying that because you used to be one of them." I cracked up. I cracked up. I ain't mad. Yeah, used to be one of them. That's how I know what I'm talking about.
That's how you know they got the information. Exactly.
Oh my God, she tried to hurt me, but it didn't.
Yeah, that's how you know they got the information.
Girl, that's how I know. I'm not sitting around judging nobody. You know, I hope and pray that each one of them that's out there may get in. You know, and if they don't, I pray that somehow they get a witness before they go. You know, but I heard God don't take nobody unless they had a witness. So I'm assuming if they go, they had one and they go with it.
Guys, I have to tell you, this has been very enjoyable. Mr. Wanda, Mr. Wanda is family. She talked about people being a part of her family. It's a whole bunch of us. So,
they're not a part of my family. I'm a part of it.
she's a part of our family. She really is. And we have so many people, just like she said, people come with that. We have so many people who are part of our family. But I'm truly grateful that she said yes to this interview. She has such an amazing story. She only touched on part of it today.
Pretty much. I got a book, y'all.
She got a book, y'all. When her book comes out, when she writes it, we are going to have her back. She will tell us about her book. But I just want to thank you. Thank you so much. This is our first installment in this Mother's Day month series. And we will be back again next Saturday morning at 11 with our next guest. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Lioness Den one more time. Like us, subscribe, join our page. And please don't forget, we have Enlightenment Network on the Roku and Enlightenment Network on Amazon Fire Stick, and Enlightenment Network on the Roku. So please, Enlightenment Network, Enlightenment TV, they're on Roku and Amazon. That's what I'm going to say. So please, download our channel and stay alert on what we're doing. We are coming back to you. We are here for women. This is the Lioness Den. It is a real place to chill. Thank you for joining us. And we pray that you have a blessed day.